Hey guys, double wide 6, and today I'm going to be replacing the paddles on a Toro single stage snowblower. Here's what I'm working on. It's, as I said, a Toro single stage CCR 2000E 4.5 horsepower power curve, and I just made a video on getting this thing running, going through the carburetor because it wouldn't start or run, and I figured I'd just put new paddles on here. These rubber paddles, these used to be pretty expensive. To get them from Toro, they were about 50 bucks a couple years ago. And now it's really affordable to do it. You got some aftermarket parts that don't cost that much. And all in all, the parts look pretty good. This is the original, and that's the aftermarket. So they look good. They're only about a little over 20 bucks, and that'll get you going. These are a little tricky to put on, so I'll just show you guys some tips and we'll work through it. First tip for you is to get it up on a cart or a table. Save your back. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through and unbolt these bolts. To speed things up today, I'll be using this. I have this Milwaukee M12 ratchet. It makes quick work of these bolts, and it can get into these tight spots. So I'm just going to put a 7/16 on the back, hold the nut. There's a nut and bolt in the center here, 7/16, and I can get in here with my impact. Loosen up the center bolt. That'll allow that to pop up. Alright, we're on to our new paddle. I'm going to start out with the center. I'm going to put it on this way. That way it's kind of curving naturally out the way it needs to go. And we're going to start with these two center bolts. Alright, next we're on to this one. This one's not too bad. Problem is these nuts they give you are fairly small. Okay, so now we're on to the hard one, which is in here. So what I found, the best way to do this is I use a large pair of hemostats. The large ones have leverage and you can squeeze them pretty hard. And I'm going to put a nut in there, just like that. Got my nut in there, and we'll clamp it. I like that because it locks in place. So that's all set. We'll get our bolt through the rubber, and we got to line this up with the hole, and if you give it a good push, it'll stick through a little bit. Got it. And I'll just snug that down with the wrench. So that side's done. On to the other. This one's a bit tricky. It's really tight. So I'm going to push this through and try and clamp this right in place. There we go. If you don't have hemostats, you can always use pointy locking pliers. Another thing that you can do is you could take your wrench, take a box wrench, put a paper towel on there, and push the nut inside there, just like that. That'll hold it nice for you. And then you can slip that in there. So that'll work in a pinch. Another way to do it, doesn't hold it quite as secure, but it usually works pretty well. A nice magnetic holder is good with one of those neodymium magnets that are real strong, and this usually works pretty well as long as you can get it started and don't bump it around. Alright guys, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up down there, and if you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. Take care, have a good one.